Today we're going to talk about putting a specific target on retirement. Talking about retirement never seems to appeal to any of the younger generation. And by younger generations, I mean anybody beyond 10 years of retirement age. Retirement is such a vague term that doesn't usually have numbers attached to it. This makes it an unrelatable goal for many people as it's not specific, nor does it have a timeline associated with it. So I'm going to create a target for people to shoot for. Whether or not someone hits this target, misses this target, or exceeds this target is really up to them. This is meant to be a metric to help keep people on track. Keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor and you should always do your own research and run your own numbers. The target I propose is to save $150,000 in retirement accounts by age 35. Why $150,000? Investing $150,000 in a retirement by age 35 should compound roughly to $1.1 million by age 60. That's assuming a compounding return of 8%. This number is realistic if invested in low-cost index funds that reflect the overall stock market. An example of this would be Vanguard's Total Market Fund. The symbol is VTI. This number is also calculated based on never putting another cent into that account after age 35. We'd still want to keep contributing, but it's still cool to know that it would compound to that big of a number even if we didn't. Now, before we get too excited about becoming millionaires in the future, there are two factors we also need to take into consideration: taxes and inflation. The $1.1 million number doesn't reflect the amount you'll have after taxes. The taxes you pay on these funds will vary drastically from person to person, which is why I didn't include a specific example. One way I intend to help combat this in my own retirement accounts is by having funds in both a Roth IRA and a traditional IRA. The Roth IRA, as you may know, is an account with after-tax income that I won't pay taxes on when I retire. My traditional IRA is where I've rolled over my past 401ks from previous employers and where I'll still have to pay tax on that money. What some people do is over time they convert portions of their traditional IRA over to their Roth IRA on tax years where their taxable income is low. This means they pay taxes on that money now, assuming that they're going to be in a higher tax bracket later where they'd have to pay more money. So all said and done, taxes are going to cut down on that $1.1 million number we talked about. So that will be something that we need to plan for. The other factor we need to consider is the effect of inflation on our $1.1 million. Over time, our money will have far less buying power. At a rate of 3% inflation, calculators say that our $1.1 million today would have the same buying power as $525,000 in 25 years. With the way our government is currently spending money, I wouldn't be surprised if that inflation percentage went way up in the future. At age 60, you could begin withdrawing about 4% of that total amount per year without too much concern of the funds running out. That's according to a strategy known as the 4% rule. This means you'd be able to pull out $44,000 per year or $3,666 per month before inflation and taxes. That same $44,000 would have the spending power of $21,000 and some change after inflation at our same 3% rate. And that number doesn't include the taxes you'd be paying on that money either. Can we live off $21,000 per year? That's only $1,750 per month. So for most people, probably not. If there's any Social Security programs left by that time we're at retirement age, it would be added to that amount as well. So even if we hit our target of $150,000 by age 35, we'll still want to continue contributing to our retirement accounts to ensure we have a comfortable lifestyle in retirement. I realize that $150,000 can seem like an intimidating number to shoot for, but at least you now have a mid-range target to help keep you on the right track. If you're behind, that's okay. The important part is that you start now so that you can use the one asset you still have: time. Future you will be so glad you took the time to learn this content and invest in your retirement. In my next video, I'll talk about some strategies we can use to help us get to our retirement number a little bit easier. Please like and subscribe to this channel for more content just like this.